What's going on, Cap? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you've still been enjoying your birthday season so far. Look at all these fireworks. I love that one. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back to Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just phenomenal, Cap, especially during your birthday season, and it keeps us from. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. And yes, Capricorn, I hope you have been enjoying this because this has been a pretty solid birthday season. I feel the energies have been getting kind of ramping things up a little bit. We've been setting intentions. Maybe hopefully you got to set some intentions during the new moon that just happened not too long ago on Thursday. So yeah, hope you think about some long-term goals there, how you wanted to grow over this next year, and yeah, just getting ready for the energies there, Capricorn. But with this monthly spread, because we got about maybe what we got about 10, well, a little less, oh yeah, almost a little less than or a little more than a week before we get into Aquarius season. So enjoy this last little bit. But this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Capricorn, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cap. Now, I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with the signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we will get some details with the tarot. Oh. And we're going to keep our crystals from jumping. And excuse me. I'm like literally at like the I can see the finish line. I'm like at the last sprint of this little cold that I happen to catch there, Capricorn. Just a little sidebar, and you know we're feeling great again. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. Okay. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching their caps, so check them out. I think you would really enjoy them. Very powerful intuitives. Also there are a couple links for some astrologers that I like watching as well. They're Capricorn. Thank you. As well as I'm going to start including a podcast, which I actually found out the main person on there, not only is she a Capricorn, but she also has a Gemini moon, just like myself. So I was just like, oh, how exciting. So I'll be including that, some podcast stuff, and some other resources there as things go along the Capricorn. So stay tuned for that. I'll be keeping you posted. But before we get into this big old extravaganza that Aquarius is throwing in their sign, I do want to talk about one last big aspect that's kind of happening with your energies, and I feel this is going to be a really interesting one. So put the 20th on your calendar there, Cap, because we have the sun that's going to be conjunct Pluto on the 20th at 8:46 a.m. and that'll be Eastern time. And the reason this aspect is so special, because the conjunctions are when planets are in a close combination with each other, usually between like 0 and 3 degrees there, Capricorn. But this one is special because not only is it happening on the 29th degree, which is the last degree of any sign, which is a critical degree, or known as the anaretic degree. And this degree is often seen as a point of crisis or culmination where the main themes of the sign are felt more urgently. But it's also happening on the 59th minute. So this is like the last wisp of breath of the Capricorn, of this Capricorn thing. And I feel this is going to be really especially sensitive for those of you if you have any especially if you have any kind of Capricorn placements at this degree. So at the 29th degree. So yeah, definitely kind of pay attention to that energy there, Capricorn, because Pluto's still going to be doing some back and forth stuff like one more time between your sign there. You're almost finished with Pluto, well, at least being in your sign, but with this energy that's happening here, you know, Pluto brings things up from the depths, those things that are uncomfortable, those things that are considered intense, those darker themes that we may not want to deal with. He brings those stuff up because, well, we can't ignore them, because the longer we ignore them, the more they run the scenes in our subconscious mind there, Capricorn. So Pluto brings that stuff to our awareness so that we can embrace that transformative and regenerative energy of Pluto to evolve into that higher version of ourselves there. But there's always work to do in order to get to that step. And now I feel, especially too, the sun is going to be shining a light on that as well. So kind of on a broader scale, there'll probably be some things that'll still be brought up related to Capricorn themes, as far as like governments and authorities and corporations and things along those lines. So probably really a lot more to be revealed there, Capricorn. But also this could lead to significant personal growth, often through intense and challenging experiences. And people may find themselves confronting power issues, control dynamics, and deep-seated fears. So this is just something to just be mindful of there, Capricorn, and kind of meditate on these lessons that Pluto and the Sun are trying to teach you in this last little bond here. It's like, it's so interesting. I feel like this is just like they're having just a little side conversation right before the Sun takes the lead into Aquarius, and then Pluto will follow him that evening. But that's with that on that aspect. But let's talk about this party that Aquarius is throwing, because you have the sun that's going to be entering their sign, Mercury's going to be entering, Venus will be there, Mars has got an invite, and that aforementioned Pluto there. So look at that, it's all inclusive there for Aquarius. But let's talk about the sun, because the sun is going to be entering on the 20th at about 9:07 a.m. and will be, keep in mind with these times are all going to be in Eastern time, and will be there through the 18th of February. And with this, you may notice, Capricorn, that you might feel more inclined to express your more unique qualities and seek more independence in your personal life. Because the nice thing about Aquarius energy is that even though they are a sign of groups and networking and the collective and things, it's what do you bring individually to the table that makes that group shine. Everyone has their part to play there, and I feel that even in that group, Aquarius doesn't lose their uniqueness. If anything, that makes them go even more ham when it comes to being themselves. So it's a great time to really just really start living your authentic self there, Capricorn. And this could also bring about a greater focus on social causes, community involvements, and connecting with like-minded individuals and groups there, Capricorn. So maybe you've been wanting to join a certain activist group, or maybe even on a lighter scale, you've been wanting to join, like, I've been on this, the idea of a knitting group popped up for one of the signs, and I thought that was really funny. So maybe you're joining that knitting group, or maybe whatever this might be looking like, maybe some sort of a cult group, maybe we're meeting talking about tarot, when that actually might be something there, Capricorn. But also too, on a larger scale, we can see a surge in movements for social change, technological advancements, and more innovative solutions to global issues. So we're going, the future is here. We're in the age of Aquarius, and things are really going to feel like they're going to start picking up there, and a lot of evolution is going to be happening here. So then you have Mercury that's going to be entering on the 5th of February at about 12:10 a.m. And this is a nice placement for Mercury because Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. Consider that that Aquarius is a very intellectual, intelligent sign. There's a brilliant placement for Mercury to be. And this is considered a great time for open-mindedness and intellectual exploration, particularly in areas that involve like collective well-being, again, technology, innovative problem solving, things along the future, anything along those lines there, anything inventive, eccentric type of things. So something to think about there. Now with Venus, I'm going to talk about her next because she's going to be going through your sign. She's going to be going through your sign. So, and then let me talk about Mars, because Mars will be entering there on the 13th of February at about 1:05 a.m. And Mars is our drive and our action. So one thing I feel with this energy is that even though Mars is a very physical planet, I do feel with him taking on that more intellectual flavor of Aquarius, that we might feel a little more inclined for like debates and things along those lines. So that could be something fun, maybe joining a debate club there, Capricorn. But also you may find yourself inspired to take innovative and unconventional actions and really just start trying new methods and thinking outside of the box. And there may be a stronger desire for personal freedom and independence in actions. But you may also notice there too, Capricorn, that people may become more resistant to control or feel more inclined to challenge authorities. So that's an energy to be mindful of there. And then we have the much talked about, much anticipated Pluto in Aquarius. And granted, we got a little bit of that flavor back in March, but now he's going to, and again, he's going to be retrograding one more time back in your sign. I want to say he goes retrograde in May, and then we'll be back in your sign. I want to say around like maybe September. So just something to, again, especially if you have any sort of like late placement Capricorn stuff, that's going to be an interesting one there for you. But the reason these Pluto's been so talked about in particular, just because Pluto doesn't move that often. He can move anywhere, take anywhere from like 12 to 30 years in a sign, depending on what's going on with his orbit. So this, yeah, this is a really special occasion, and we won't see Pluto in Aquarius again. So, or not in this lifetime. So that's why when these outer planets move, it's something to, it really, it does not just affect us on an individual scale, of course, but those are more, I feel, when the planets are forming those aspects with your with your planets. But this does affect us kind of globally there, so we're going to be see a lot of shifts, and there's going to be, could be significant changes in social structures and collective ideals, and it can lead to a rise to new social movements and a redefinition of societal norms. And also, too, major advances in technology. I was, Lyft ride the other day, and the the person that was giving me a ride happened to mention something about flying cars and things. I was like, that's so funny. I was like, you know what, mark your words on this day, because I wouldn't be surprised over this next 20 years when cars might be flying. My computer might be able to whip me up a sandwich. Who knows what this computer will be able to kind of freshen me up. Who knows what this is, where this energy is going to be going there, Capricorn. So I might be able to snap and change clothes. Well, wouldn't that be something? So just something to pay attention to there, Capricorn. But let's go ahead and get into your first energy here, which is the perception card here. And I feel that with this perception card, that the energies, when we're thinking about all this stuff here, it's not just about all the new things that are coming. I do feel with these energies too, especially since Pluto has been teetering back and forth between yours and Aquarius's sign, it's thinking about what's been closing out. And I feel like this, for you in particular, Capricorn, considering that Pluto has been in your sign since 2008 and has been traversing through this energies, and I feel that it's thinking about in what ways has your perception in life changed. What lessons have you learned from this Plutonian energy? How have you grown? Where do you want to take this information? You know, how has this shadow work that you've had to put into altered the course of your direction there? And hopefully we've come to appreciate the, even in the tougher times there, Capricorn, how much Pluto has shaped you and has helped you kind of go through this rebirth there. And I feel too that this is something where you can sort of like breathe a little easier knowing that the energies are over, but I do feel like we don't want to just completely chuck the past away in a sense. We want to keep that strength and foundation that Pluto did bring down, even though he may have had to uproot a lot of things. But I do feel that it is a matter of perception. Just even because even just thinking about, because I have I have a couple of Capricorn placements. Well, and people in my generations do, that have that Uranus in Capricorn and Neptune in Capricorn. We've all kind of felt this, but you, in more particular, if you have personal planets in Capricorn, I feel that yeah, something I feel is I feel like it's not forgetting, just not forgetting the lessons in the sense, and figuring how you're going to take that power again going forward. But let me get some tarot on this, Capricorn, and get some details. No, how funny, Capricorn. Got the tower there. what a start. Interesting. Alright, Capricorn. Thank you. So you have the Tower, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. And then you have the Two of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles upright. And I feel the Seven of Pentacles here, Capricorn, is a taking stock, again, of all of the towers that have maybe happened to you, and that the towers that, as far as like the changes and things that you've made as well, maybe some of these tougher decisions that we had to make over these last 15 years or so, or however long we've been maybe working with these energy, or have been really kind of more feeling these energies than others. Again, reflect on those kind of bigger moments in life. And I'm filled with this Queen of Cups energy here. If there's something that because I feel that there's something that's still wanting to be healed, and maybe we're still kind of processing a lot of the trauma and things that may have gone over here over these last, however long this may have been resonating with you, Capricorn. Because I feel the Queen of Pentacles is giving me this energy of some feeling like something was really taken from us, and we've just been sort of left maybe to our own devices there. And where I don't doubt for a second that there has been some very tough times there where we may not have felt, oh, that's interesting, Capricorn, may not have been feeling loved by the universe in the sense, or maybe by the energies, or maybe been feeling by yourself. And that's a tough thing when you are in that place of where we're questioning our faith in a sense, and needing to, and I feel it's always remembering, Capricorn, that the universe does always have your back, even when things have been taken away, or could feel like it's just been taken away. That's not the only thing that's been happening, because in in those vacuums that have been made, because the tower sure destroys a lot of things, and I mean, look, just a whole wrecking ball is coming through there, but it also gives you that opportunity to fill that space with something new, something fresh, something different, something that's going to help you to evolve into this greater, stronger Capricorn that you are. And in Capricorn, yours is one that is a very, very tough sign, because Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. And I was just telling Scorpio this, that I feel you and them do share a lot when it comes to understanding that life isn't always easy, that things aren't just always handed to you, that there is work that's needing to be evolved, that that you need to sometimes even find love in those kind of darker places there. And I feel like that's what this Knight of Cups is kind of asking, especially if we've been feeling maybe a little raw, or have those moments where things are feeling a little tough. It's just, how do we find that love there now that we've been made so vulnerable? And I feel Capricorn is one that does like to keep things reserved and not like to let their feelings show, but their strength and vulnerability, their Capricorn. And I feel this is one where, I like to talk with the signs as far as like we can learn a lot from our opposites. And your opposite sign happens to be Cancer, and lucky for you, my sun sign's in Cancer, so I can tell you all about nurturing and emotions there, and how wonderful they can be, when you learn to face them, and that they do need to be faced. There's a time to kind of buckle down and need to kind of put things aside in order to get business done, but you have to remember too that you need some TLC. You need those feelings to breathe, and we can't just sweep that stuff under the rug. Well, I mean, we can, but after a while, you're how you're either gonna have to keep buying a bigger rug, or you're going to need to clear out some of these things. So, and remember too, Capricorn, again, that you are always loved, and that the soul tribe is here, and it's we're all figuring out this experience there together there, Capricorn. So, and I feel it's even too discovering new resources and learning new things about yourself, and how you can apply these new maybe coping mechanisms and things, and learning to see the beauty even in this lessons there. I had something where someone I know went through a real sort of tough type of situation there, and it really was pretty tough. But I do remember talking with, I never got really a chance to talk with them about it, but I do remember talking with someone else about this, and thinking that, yeah, these things have happened, but now they get to take this thing and rebuild something new with this, and they get to make it more theirs. So it's all a matter of, again, of perspective. And one last thing, though, Capricorn, and then I'm going to move on from this, especially when it was talk about not feeling loved by the universe. There was a moment back in my early 20s where the universe and I were not getting along. We were, yeah, I had a lot to, yeah. And I do remember vividly where I was driving in my truck, and I was just like kind of looking up at the sky, and it's just like, well, if you're not gonna have my back, then I guess I'll just do it myself. Like, I don't need you. And little did I know, that whole period of time, man, was I being divinely guided. So, and it's those moments where you can look back and kind of chuckle there, Capricorn, where that kind of hindsight is 2020. So, all right, I think I'm gonna move on from that there, Capricorn. A little bit of a deep start, but I dig that. Let's get some tea and let's talk about your energy. Because you got the Empress, Venus, is going to be entering into your sign on the 23rd of January at about 3:50 a.m. And with this, Cap, I've been saying I like this energy for the Empress because I feel like this is her in her business professional. She's coming through, she's no nonsense. And I feel that with this energy, Venus in Capricorn is one that really takes relationships more seriously. So you might be seeking out more stability in your long-term commitments rather than these kind of short-term flings, whether this be in love, in friendships, in business, however this may be manifesting for you. But also too, this is a very resourceful placement for the Empress to be, because the Empress she's an excellent builder, excellent one that, I mean, she rules over two houses. So she has to know how to make her coin and make her money work for her. So this can be an excellent for financial matters, whether this be focusing on, or there might be greater focus on savings and investing wisely and making more financially sound decisions there. So that's one thing to consider there, Capricorn. And then she'll be moving from your sign into Aquarius on the 16th of February at about 11:05 a.m. And now this is where the Empress kind of rips her hair down, maybe even cuts it off a little bit. She throws on her crop top, maybe throws on some go-go shoe. Well, who knows what the hell she's wearing. She's just really, at this point, I've been trying to come up with different fashion themes, but not quite my background. So just imagine the Empress dressed in something crazy, full of colors, and I'm picturing polka dots. But you may notice that this impacts your aesthetic preferences, leading to a liking for a more unique and avant-garde kind of futuristic styles when it comes to fashion and art and excuse me, design, things like that. So, if you've been wanting to play around with your style, or maybe there's maybe you're feeling you're in a period of like just wanting to rock berets, or maybe you're just in a scarf phase, or whatever that's looking like there, Cap, with crazy socks, go for it. Empress supports that 100%. And if you are, let's say, a musician, clothes artist, any sort of artist, this could be playing around with different mediums and different genres and things like that, different desert materials. If not, mess around with different materials there, Capricorn. But also too, you may notice an increased engagement in online, digital, or long distance relationships, again, because considering that Aquarius deals with networking and the collective and socializing and things along those lines. So that's something to also consider there, Capricorn. And the lovely thing too is, depending on where your Cap placements are at when she's in Capricorn, this is going to be forming a conjunction with your sign, and that's a lovely energy to have conjunctions forming with Venus there. And again, I've already had told you about kind of what conjunctions are, that kind of strong blend of energies there. But yeah, you may notice that your energies take on that more type of Venusian type of flavor there. And sometimes the conjunctions can lead to a bit of anxiety, because it is these planets kind of infuse, almost like taking over in a sense, and kind of infusing and merging with your natal planets there. So it can be a little strange at first when they're sort of incorporating there, but it's one that your just energies are evolving again, and just paying attention to how these energies influence you there, Capricorn. So, but let's go ahead and get another oracle on the mix here. All right, Cap. So you have the shapeshift card here. And I feel with this energy, Capricorn, that feels like the energies are For some, I feel like it's what do you feel or who do you feel that you're becoming? Because I feel that there is this sort of evolution again that's kind of happening through there. There's this. It almost feels like that. It's like depending on where you're at on your journey, if you've gone through your first solar return, or excuse me, your first Saturn return, because I remember my Saturn return, or at least I remember that shift. It took, I more noticeably felt it right around 30, but it was like this sort of clear, like, oh, like the things that weren't working anymore, bam, they just kind of really clicked, and then it was Tower. Then it was just, and it wasn't like like a real sort of like boom tower. That didn't take place till a couple years until like maybe like a year or two later, but that I do feel like it is asking you where it is that you feel that you are changing. Is where you've been so far who you really are? And I feel too, Capricorn. See, look at this Capricorn. You got this goat here, and I see your tail peeking out of the bottom there. I do feel that things it's there are certain things that we do take with us, you're like our foundation and things, but overall change is the one constant in this energies in this realm here, Capricorn. So I feel like it is what parts of us are we letting go, and what ways have our perceptions shifted in a sense. What is this tower this indicate? Because I mean that's what you started off with. What what changes do you not only do you feel that you're becoming, but that you just personally want to make there, Capricorn? Whether this be maybe you want to maybe just even get more sleep, or maybe you want to maybe we feel a career shift happening, or maybe ready to shift to a different job, or maybe even a different environment, whether this be a new place or maybe a new state, maybe we even want to go to a new continent. But I do feel that this is a great energy to be thinking about those sort of shifts there and paying attention to where things are going. And with this shape shift as well, I feel there is this mutability that's being asked there to be open to, or being able to adapt and adjust with where things are going there, Capricorn. Because sometimes Capricorn energy can be a little rigid, sometimes, depending. And so I feel like it's kind of getting out of that rigidity and allowing yourself more, a broader sense of self and a sense of experience, and maybe just going out there and seeing what life has to offer you there. Try on these different personas here and see which one fits well, and then I feel like it's like exploring these energies a lot deeper. But let's get some tarot on this, Cap. Oh, look at all these queens. All right, fascinating. Because by the way, speaking of these queens, the Queen of Pentacles is for me. It's that's you, Capricorn. Queen of Cups is Cancer. You got the Queen of Wands here, Aries. But thank you. Let's see what's going on here. So you have the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Lovers, and the Four of Wands here, upright, and then you have the Nine of Wands in reverse. And I feel with this Nine of Wands here, Capricorn, that this is giving me an energy of burnout. This is giving me something that, maybe for some we're just tired of this sort of same old thing that's been going on there. I feel like that it feels like with this Seven of Swords here, that we maybe just maybe tired of telling ourselves this certain narrative, or just kind of been feeling that we haven't been in this energy of maybe true celebration there in a while. And I feel that if these are things that you have been kind of logging in there, Capricorn, but maybe if you've been busy with all of the things that have been going on there, I do feel like it is paying attention to those signals that you are getting from your higher self, because the lovers for me can be like your higher self kind of winking at you there, trying to communicate with you. This is Gemini energy, and I feel like the lovers is ask you to open a communication with your higher self there, and find out where you want to go, Queen of Wands. She's got all these sunflowers in the background that are looking towards the sun. What does your happiness look like? Where is your sun? And Capricorn, I've mentioned this, and I'm gonna be mentioning this over at least for another year, well, another couple years, since Saturn's gonna be in Pisces for a little while longer. But you are in a very intuitive energy right now, with Saturn being in Pisces, and Capricorn, you are. I tell you, I've been really just like, the more we've been in this Capricorn energy, I've been thinking about your sign quite a bit, and you really are the perfect balance of this, of earth, this material kind of earthly realm there, and then having that fishtail of that divine as well, the perfect balance between the two, to be able to go transition through those energies, pretty seamlessly there. But of course it comes with practice, obviously, but I do feel like it's not sleeping on how intuitive you can actually be. To be able to be known as the achievers of the zodiac, you have to have this big vision, and big for you, Capricorn. I don't mean by anybody else's standards. And I feel that it is, if you've been more so tied up in the material, it's time to get to find that balance of that spirituality as well, getting maybe more in touch with nature, or doing some meditative practices, whether this is doing maybe some breath work, or just doing some meditation where you're sitting on a cushion and just sitting and breathing, or listening to maybe some guided meditations, or whatever this may be, working with Reiki, working with crystals, maybe doing some scrying, maybe even doing some tarot. But however it is that you connect with source, and if you're not sure what that connection is, again, this is a perfect time, I feel like, to find it and see where those intuitive messages and guidances are trying to lead you. So I like this, Capricorn. I like what you're shape shifting into. Something powerful. Something expert manifester. So, all right, something to think about. All these lovely ladies here. Let's get these cards organized here, Cap. And then let's talk about Taurus, because you have Big Papa Jupiter that's in Taurus. And then you have Uranus that's in Taurus. And Uranus is getting ready to wake up, Capricorn, on the 27th of January. So if things been feeling a little quiet there, you will brace yourself. And that's not to get you scared. That's just to let you know that there are going to be more changes that are getting ready to come there. And let's talk about Uranus first, because Uranus is going to be in Taurus until the 7th of July 2025. And Uranus has been in Taurus since like 2018, and it has been a doozy with him being there. And there have been a lot of shifts that have been going on, and new ways of going about establishing different means of security, those things that are Taurus. And working with finances differently, even working with food differently, and housing, things along those lines. And well, granted, House is kind of getting into like Cancer's realm a little bit, but there's still that building of the home space and things that could still apply to Taurus. And Taurus and Cancers are very very similar too, kind of like how you and Scorpio remind me of each other, but. And keep in mind too, with Uranus energy, he doesn't just change for just the sake of change. He changes things that have become outdated, that are no longer elevating us in any sort of sense, and gets us ready for these outer planetary shifts that are getting ready to come. Because we're going to have a lot of big ones coming through. Pluto's setting the tone for this year, but the rest of the outer planets are going to be following suit the following year. Neptune's moving, Uranus is moving, Saturn's going to be moving, Jupiter will be moving. So it's going to be heavy next year. I feel like it's going to be very similar to how where we had that what was it, around like February or March, where there was a lot of planetary movements that were going on. Pluto was going into Aquarius, Mars I think had just entered Cancer, or I think it had just entered Cancer, and a few other things had. Saturn, I think, just went direct. It was a lot. The Neptune was about to go retrograde. It was a lot that was going on there, and I feel like it's going to be like that. But we're getting ahead of myself. But Uranus and Taurus, there's still going to be collective shifts in what is being valued materially. We might be, with the prices in food that is our way are going. Maybe we're thinking about growing our own crops there, or just investing differently. Maybe doing more sort of bulk things, whether this is bulk rice and beans and things that have longer shelf lives and things, or changes in possessions and wealth, and where we're maybe keeping stock as opposed to like not just keeping stuff in banks, but finding different other avenues and things. But this could also lead to as well to significant changes in advances in our in agriculture, environmental practices, and how we interact with the world, because Taurus can deal with the environment as well, and Uranus deals with and I don't want to call them, because I mean, yes, they're natural disasters, but I feel forces of nature I feel like is a very very I feel like is more appropriate for what we can call these storms. And I feel like it's just like, how do we assuage some of this stuff here? How do we kind of, because I feel like the world with all these different, like where I'm at, it's just like hurricanes all the time, and it's just like, how do we assuage this inflammation that's kind of happening on the world, because we've gotten so, as an environment, to just, or as a collective, to just take so much. So it's like, what can we do in order to give back and kind of shift the balance back into some sort of sense of normalcy? But yeah, that's a whole other conversation. I take Kepler. This is a kind of deep reading. I'm digging this. But also, you have Jupiter that's in Taurus, and it'll be there till the 25th of May. And with this is very Ten of Pentacles. I feel this is thinking about that, getting some long term things set up there. How do you take Jupiter's just excessive abundance and stretch that over the long term there? Because now Taurus kind of slows that abundant energy down a little bit, and it's just like learning in what ways can we grow, and maybe in what ways that we've been giving into more of those sort of like instant gratification types of things, and how do we come to appreciate more, valuing the sense of doing things that have a more kind of lasting impression, as opposed to just like sort of like those dopamine hits, because Taurus is a very sensual sign as well, and that loves to feel good. But there is too much of or you can't have too much of a good thing there, Cap. So, but also too, there's an emphasis on growth and expansion just in practical areas, particularly those related to things of resources and physical comforts. And also too, just another favorable time for financial planning, investing in long-term assets, and just enjoying the abundance of the world that is around us there. because this is such a beautiful, beautiful planet that we do live on there, Capricorn. And even with all the wild stuff that's happening there, that there's still there's the sun still shines. There's just so much that we can appreciate in this world. So just taking a moment for that there as well, Capricorn. And depending on where your cap placements are at, this is forming a trine with your sign, which trines are very fast moving energies. They remove blockages and can be very lucky energies as well. So, there's trines are ultimately about motion, or it could be the lack thereof, depending on if we're moving or not. So, just something to consider. But let's get an oracle on this, Cap. Your readings have been very different, Capricorn. I like this. Like I've noticed that over these last few weeks, that your energies are shifting in a way that I've been appreciating. So, yeah, thanks for the energies that you're bringing in. Yeah, this is just some deep stuff to be thinking about there, Capricorn. I've been talking with a lot of Capricorns here as of late. Now that I've actually was just talking with one the other day. But thank you. All right, so you have the Banish card here, Capricorn, and I feel with this card, this energy here is, I feel, asking you, what things do we need to cut ties with? What are some things that we may need to banish, or even if it's not as intense as banish, something where we either need to maybe put up some boundaries, or maybe there's some situations that from the past that haven't been healed, and maybe we're doing some symbolic gestures in order to symbolize this sort of letting go. Let's say if we have, since you got like the Lovers and Knight of Cups here, very loving energy, maybe we had a relationship that didn't quite go well, and maybe it's writing a note to that person, expressing your feelings, and I feel like it's like allowing yourself this energy. If this is too, maybe we're holding on to something that someone may have did, it's learning the sense of forgiveness, so that that energy no longer has any power over you, in a sense. And I feel too, Capricorn, if there's something that someone did to you, aware, I would not absolve them of their actions. I will say that I feel like it's easier to forgive someone when we channel energy towards the action, as far as like, I I know that you can do better than, you are better than this energy and this vibration you're in. I just don't care for what you're doing right now. And if there's not that sense of change that's coming from this person, then there's we all we can do is cut ties, and then as far as I hope, the universe will pull us back together again someday. But I do feel like, just so that you're no longer, so that that energy no longer just keeps you shackled down and keeps you where you're bound to the past like that, so you can look forward to the future there and embrace and go and know that you're making choices with a lighter heart, and not feeling just as burdened as, I mean, it was like a 10 of Wands energy coming through with this energy. But again, just that sense of release more so than anything else there, Capricorn, and a sort of cleansing energy that's really happening there. And I'm even getting with this too, that if this is not a person, I almost feel that there is this sense of, how do I want to put this? I feel like there's, for some, there might be this energy of, oh, let me light my candle there, Capricorn. I feel that there's this energy of, again, this healing that's coming with the Queen of Cups, and a need to, maybe we have this sort of broken kind of image of ourselves in a sense, and now I feel like it's like repairing that mirror and realizing that even in those moments maybe we made some mistakes. So we all make mistakes there, Capricorn, but I feel that the mistakes don't define you if we don't allow them to. It's one thing to make the mistake and then be like, okay, yeah, that wasn't me at my best vibration, and I acknowledge that. And what actions am I going to take moving forward in order to not repeat the same sort of things again? We may have lost some stuff along the way, along those lines there, Capricorn. I just had something not too long ago that happened with that. But that, then the question has been, how can I be better? In what ways can I do what better choices can I make, so that, again, so that this stuff doesn't repeat itself? It's only, I feel like, when we don't take time to reflect on this is when things start getting tricky there, and then the towers start happening to us as opposed to us initiating these towers and these changes. But let me get some tarot on this, Capricorn, see what's going on with that. Alright, Cap. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's Taurus. Oh, and hubby. Oh, wait. I don't think she's out here. Never mind. I'm not sure whose husband he's trying to be right now. But you have the King of Swords as player, the Four of Swords, and the Hierophant here. And then you have the Grimalkin card and the Temperance upright here. And this Grimalkin card is one of the special major arcana. There are two in this deck. And this Grimalkin is giving me this energy of a needing to, as you're going through this letting go and this growth and things, is learning to be patient with this energy, and to not force it, and to let these life lessons be your teacher. And I feel too the Grimalkin is this energy too. It's like this understanding that you needed to go through a situation or go through an experience, and we made a decision at that time that may not have made sense, or that may not have made sense in that moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it does. It does. But I had a situation here not too long ago where I felt at the time I needed to blow everything up. I just needed to just start fresh, and it definitely did help, and it did reveal a lot. But it was one of, like, when I would go to explain it to others, they were just like, it made sense to them, but I could still feel that it was just sort of like, it was a little tricky to explain, but it all has come together in a sense, and I feel like it is kind of now the happily ever after is kind of coming to the forefront there. It's very nice there, Cap. But I do feel that, it's time to sort of, it's a time to reflect here with the King of Swords there. What did you learn from this experience? Is why we're banishing these things there, and allowing ourselves some rest with the Four of Swords, and not staying where we're just like, where our mind is tied to whatever this past experience was or anything along those lines. And we may need to go about it's like, I feel like this releasing things is like, we may need to go about this in a maybe a not so traditional type of way there, whether this be through some sort of symbolism, this like letter burning, or maybe ribbon cutting, or however this might be looking. But I do feel like it is, you're getting this sense of balance in a sense with the Temperance card being here, restoring this sense of order, and things are just kind of coming together in a sense. All these pieces of yourselves and the shapeshifters kind of becoming this chimera, but it's this beautiful thing in all of its intricacies, if that makes sense there, Capricorn, because we all are very complex beings as well. And yeah, a lot of growth I feel like is coming through this Capricorn with this banish here, but it's just asking ourselves too, why are we holding on to maybe something, if that's something that may be resonating you there, why we may be so fixated on something. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Capricorn. I dig this. like man, you're just like writing poetry for me. All right, but let's get into this last energy, which is Pisces, because you have your ruler Saturn in Pisces, and then you have Neptune that's been in Pisces, and she's got a little bit longer that she's going to be kicking it in her home sign. And with your ruler Saturn being in Pisces, he'll be there till the 25th of May 2025. And Saturn in general just asks us, wherever sign he is or he's in, it's, you're asking us, that's the theme that we're taking on, a theme that we're meant to focus on in order to grow, to put in that work. And when we do, we get this super abundant energies and rewards and things, and just, and this really just a strong sense of accomplishment, I feel too, that comes with Saturn. Saturn can be, I feel he does get a very hard rep, and he can be seen as like, when Saturn's doing something, like everyone runs and hides, but that's not what he wants. He wants you to, why are we running from our higher selves, like into this sense of running from greatness? He wants us to embrace that there, Capricorn. And with Saturn being particularly in Pisces, this is a really great period of time for grounding your dreams and your spiritual insights, and learning important emotional and spiritual lessons, and learning how to wield this powerful intuition. Because the Hierophant, the divine counterpart to the High Priestess, he's a strong and very, very strong intuitive. And learning more about these kind of ethereal aspects of life, and you're just making the stronger, figuring out how you connect with source, figuring out how you manifest at your finest. And yeah, very, very, I feel like, and learning this deeper sense of love, and learning to be compassionate with yourself, and learning the sense of boundaries with them. And yeah, very, very wonderful energy, I feel. What I like Saturn being in Pisces. And then you have Neptune that's been there since, I want to say, about 2012 is when she moved into Pisces. And there has been a huge shift in spirituality and emotional shifts, both on a personal and a collective level there, Capricorn. Things have been just, I feel that things that I feel people are calling new age. And I remember someone talking about astrology, and they're just like, oh, that's some new age stuff. And I was just like, no, it's not. Astrology's been around forever. Like, that's like, it's just like, I feel that it's just now it's, and I don't really particularly care for this word, but it's for some maybe would consider like trending, or it's like it's picking up a lot of attention and things. And but a lot of people, I do feel, on a less superficial level, are understanding that there's something deeper to this experience, and deeper to them, and feeling that they are these spiritual beings going through this human experiences, and really acknowledging that, and understanding how we interact energetically in things. And also to Capricorn, this is a great, if you haven't started up any sort of projects or artistic endeavors or whatever it is that you've been wanting to get started up there, this is a great period of time to be doing that, because this is a favorable time for introspection, artistic pursuits, and exploration of that spiritual realm. Because again, Neptune is in at home, and now we can tap into these really big energies there. The one trickiness with this, though, is that Neptune can be a bit of an illusory energy and can dissolve those boundaries between reality and illusion. So we want to be mindful of escapisms in things. But the really lovely thing about this stuff, too, there, Capricorn, is that she's been, depending on where your placements are at, this is forming a sextile with your sign. And this creates opportunities for you, Capricorn, especially now with Saturn being direct now and is moving and starting to form these sextiles with your Capricorn placements. You're in a real harmonious relationship with your ruler. Allow this energy to help you grow and to help you expand, because sextiles are very easy flowing energy. But they're potential. They're like seeds. Either you do something with them or you don't. That's just the facts. So just something to pay attention to there, Capricorn, because it's going to be, I feel, interesting once we start moving towards that Aries energy. So, but let's get your last oracle card here and see what's going on. I like that, Cap. Thank you. So your last card here, you have the cleanse card. And I feel with this, Capricorn, that this is a time to, just kind of clean up house. Just take the time. Pluto's getting ready to move out of your sign here soon. Basically back the last degree there. Just kind of sweep out whatever. What I'm picturing is like this, it's like right after you had throw like a big, like you just got done throwing like a big birthday party there. You invited all of your friends over there, Capricorn. They had a wonderful time. Everybody was just carrying on. And then as we're leaving, we're just kind of looking through our space and kind of going through. And it's just like, okay, now that that's over, it's like, what do we need to clean out? Where do we need to make space? What stuff is occupying the stuff? It's like getting the garbage bags, picking up all the clutter and things, and that's never really fun, but it's just that part of that necessary part of that journey. And it can even feel a little bittersweet sometimes, or feel a little, that doesn't even quite feel like the right word, but I do feel that there's almost this nostalgia, just right, kind of remembering what was as we're kind of going through and doing this sort of metaphorical sweeping in a sense, and I don't know, just kind of cleansing the soul there, Capricorn. And I feel too, even just getting into the regular practice of just cleansing your energies, whether this be through meditation, through maybe healing music, like taking a sound bath, taking an Epsom bath, maybe even just, I don't know, find a way to get buried in some dirt there, maybe get buried underneath the sand there, Capricorn. But I do feel that there is this needing to let go and give to the universe so that we can start anew. I really like this energy, Capricorn. This is very, very liberating. I'm very cathartic. But let's get Let's get your last tarot cards here. Alright, Cap. That last little bit here. Ha! There. Ooh, and look at you, Capricorn. Alright. So, well, one, there's that sun we were looking for there with the Queen of Wands. I love that that popped out. But you have the Sun card and the Two of Cups in reverse. And then you got the other special. And look at you, the first one to get that, Capricorn. So you have the Unity card, the other special major arcana in this deck, the Seven of Wands and the Five of Pentacles upright. And let's switch back over. And you know, Capricorn, with this Unity card, I do feel like it's like I do feel like the group or things that you may have been involved with that you've been involved with may be evolving in a sense, or at least just that relationship or how that dynamic is. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like you coming into a newer sense. There's like this unity of maybe, you know what, this feels a little less about like a group and more so kind of internal there. Like there's this unity, you know, maybe for a little while there we had this sort of disconnected energy with ourselves, with the Two of Cups being in reverse here, and been having a lot of trouble maybe finding that sunlight, or maybe we still are having a little trouble finding that light, because the Five of Pentacles can be feeling a little down and out there, be feeling kind of at your lowest, be in this sense of or feeling impoverished in some sort of way there. And I feel that this is now kind of asking you with this unity and with all these energies that have been coming your way. It's just like, if you haven't made that sense of peace, it's just like, how can we get to that unity there, that lover's energy? How can this stuff kind of come together? But I do feel that if there is some where maybe if we've had like a group sort of drift apart or something along those lines, and maybe we're wanting to connect that again, I feel that it's, what can we do in order to bring that sunlight to light? What are some things that we may not be talking about or maybe dealing with in order to get to that sense? You know, maybe we're longing for something, or and I feel like especially too, if this, because the Seven of Wands can be this energy of protecting your energies, you know, from others, and be mindful of the criticism and things from others. But I feel if there's something here where I feel like with all these shifts, just being mindful as far as, I feel like just cutting people off and maybe putting up boundaries just because we're just on a roll. Let's say, in a sense, you know, just like, you know, I'm doing all this healing, just like, forget, oh, you ain't about it, but forget you. Now about the, you know what I mean, Capricorn? So I feel that's something to kind of just be aware of, too. But overall, I feel that there is a remembering with all of this stuff that the universe isn't just out there to just take stuff from you and to just keep you in this sense of low and keep you feeling by yourself and that no one has your back. Because Capricorn energy is one that can be prone to depression sometimes because it can be tough when you're facing these kind of Saturn sort of influences and being ruled by Saturn. You know, because again, he does ask a lot of you, but I do feel that there are those who do want to support you in things, but we have to allow that space to let them. So that's just a little something to think about there, Capricorn. But I think I'm going to leave that there. You know, it's a lovely little reading here, Cap. And if anything resonated with you, if you liked that as much as I did, give it a thumbs up there. And share this, Capricorn, if you know someone who's really just going through some really deep shifts there, or really just been, because this is very kind of heavy contemplation and I feel like a lot of life lessons, a lot of shadow work that's been needing to be done, and a lot of meeting yourself on a very deep type of level there, Capricorn. A lot of deep energies here. So yeah, share this. Let them know that, hey, I get it, been there. Because Capricorn energy 1-2 is, you do have a lot of the capacity for a lot of compassion there, Capricorn, because you do understand how hard life can be and what life can take from you, and you know what you can't, you know. But I do feel like we can turn those harder times, those Five of Pentacles, into sunlight, but it's just a matter of perception, so, and perspective. And that's when I've got a little, let's see if I can do this. Oh, no, we're going to be awkward. I have perspective here tattooed on my arm. I got this this is one of my early tattoos. I was going through like a really very, very interesting time in my journey when I got this. And yeah, but that's a whole other story for another day there, Capricorn. And then subscribe there, you Tower. Hit that, you Grimalkin. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit, if you have any Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Chariot, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, discuss lunar shenanigans, I do tarot card spreads based off what phase the moon's in, what sign she's in, and it's a good old time, Cap. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here. And I like this, Cap, because you got the Nine of Swords in reverse. And you know, I feel with all of these changes and things that are happening, I do feel that this is not one where we want to or really need to fear what's coming. Because I do feel that as long as you are working towards this growth, again, there are always going to be challenges that come on this journey. You know probably almost better than anyone there, Capricorn. Always going to be obstacles and things. It's an uphill. It's hard going uphill raising, but you're raising that vibration along the way. And you know, each time that you have to take a moment and rest. You know, when you look down and see how far you've come up that summit, it stays heartening. You know, it's not about looking at this just like, oh my gosh, I still have that much more to go. If anything, it's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much more growth that could be happening. Like, wait, I can be even more incredible than I already am. Oh, bet. You know, and then Queen of Wands, going for it. You know, so I like that, Cap. Let's get some tarot, or get your other oracle card on this, so I can get you out of here. All Alright, Capricorn. There's that summit. Because you got the adventure card in reverse here. You know, saying there's that summit. We got this little mountain, little volcano, whatever's going on here. And this is a card of responsibility and expectations. And it is a lot of responsibility doing this journey. And there are times where you may feel like you want to quit, you know, and you want to just not be, you just want to go to sleep and just like, as far as just like, and just Netflix and chill and just not be bothered. But I feel like you do expect more from yourself than that there, Capricorn. I feel like deep down you know that you can do more too. And I feel you will. You're going to do fantastic things there, Capricorn, and it is an adventure going on this journey. You know, and I feel like it's loving all the versions that you've become and these different views that you pick up along the way, these different relationships that come with you along this journey, those that may go along the ways, but we cherish those memories. And you know, your tale's not done there, Capricorn. You know, you guys still got a ways there, you know, but I do feel that it is something to look forward to. You know, I'm excited to see, you know, we're closing the chapter with this Pluto in Capricorn here soon, and yeah, we'll be moving on to this next one, and it's just like, how are you embracing the future? You know, we're in the age of Aquarius now, looking towards the future, so let's get innovative. Let's get a little weird. And yeah, I feel like it's gonna be an exciting time there, Capricorn. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So stay safe out there, Cap. With all this growth and this. I like this, Capricorn. And you raise your vibration. Just raise it to the roof. Raise it to your ruler. Let them know that you're listening. That you're. I'm just kidding. I'm trying not to become overwhelmed because I feel all this a lot of chills, and it's this is a very cool energy there, Capricorn. I really thank you for bringing this my way. That's yeah, this is really nice, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.